This is WT for TST, and tonight we're honoured to be joined by Archie Sharp-Shooter. Sharp, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, very well. Oh, listen, congratulations, mate, on the incoming newbie.
Yeah, no, lovely. Thanks. Another little sharp to add to the family. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
I thought you were going to say to add to your collection.
No, add to the family. My family's getting bigger and bigger now.
Mate, I say this all the time, but I've got 3 girls, hence the haircut. Right, we'll get into it. We'll get into it, mate. So first time on TST, what we like to do is, I guess, go behind the gloves, really, and understand your upbringing, your childhood, and ultimately what makes you you, and then into the boxing after that. Does that sound all right?
Lovely. I'm looking forward to it.
So your journey, your life, if you like, started in Sidcup, yeah?
Yeah, so I started, basically going out around Sidcup when I was younger. So I was born in Sidcup, Welling, them sort of areas, really. So yeah, my childhood, I'd like to say, around Sidcup and Welling. So I started boxing when I was 7 years old. I went to my local gym, which was Eltham Amateur Boxing Club.
What took you there? It's normally like a story, like your dad or your brother or
My old man, really. All the men in my dad's side of the family, even my mum's as well, boxed. So it's just basically been from beginning. Boxing has always been the main thing on the telly. Always talked about in my family. So, and also I was a very hyperactive kid. I was very energetic. I've done everything: rugby, boxing, swimming, football, every sport. But boxing is one I ended up being good at.
were you a naughty kid, were you?
You could say that, yeah. Very. Do you know what? It's funny because my nan and granddad kept loads of films. They'd done loads of films of us grandchildren as we was younger. So yeah, they are funny to watch back. It's definitely one for centre of attention. Every time the camera was out, there was me running wild. So yeah, I can see. I don't know how my mum and dad put up with me and the rest of the family, really.
When you watch them back, because I found when I watch them back, do you see your kid the same as
Oh,
you? Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
doubles, absolute doubles, mate. And my boy's a terror and all.
Daddy's boy. So you took up rugby as well, didn't you? Quite young, and you were pretty good at that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was all right at rugby. I was a good player. I played for Dartfordians for a long time and was a fullback. So I played for a long time and played at school, and I was pretty good. But it just got to the stage where, as in my boxing career, I started progressing and winning national titles, where I had to start making choices and had to knock it on the head because of injuries and whatever else, and just kind of stick to the one sport.
So let's go into your boxing then. So you started at you entered the gym. You said at 7, wasn't it? And they had to find some stuff for you to do before you got to 9 to actually box. Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so when I first went there, it half turned me away, really, because I was so young and there was a lot of good kids coming through the boxing at the time. So, but my dad ended up being a coach up there as well. I stayed there and just learned off everyone else, really, and started at a very young age. And Richard Sawyer, my trainer at the time, basically see me, and he was just starting out in the training world. He was a good fighter himself, had 90 odd amateur fights, and then I think he was early 20s. And then when I walked in, he said, "Oh, look, I'll take Archie on." Just as a young kid, and then next minute, yeah, I went on and literally just recently partied with Richard as a trainer, but we stuck with each other for that many years.
I'm going to say you kept, because you used a few different gyms and you kept going back to them, didn't you?
Yeah, so throughout my amateur career, I think just being young and I'd say I was a very active kid. I was, like I say, I was one of the boys, I mean, out and about. So boxing, stop, start, gym here, gym there, and
You find women, you find beer, no?
exactly that. You live the life. Do you know what I mean? You're young, and that's the thing. I was in that group where we was all active and whatever else. So 1 minute I'd be boxing, next minute I'd stop. But I was doing, like I said, I was doing phenomenal as an amateur, and it just goes to show now I'm 100% dedicated. I was dedicated as an amateur, but as a pro, that's when I really knocked things on the head. But as an amateur, I still won 8 national titles. So I mean, only got like 4 defeats or 5 defeats out of 60 odd fights, and 25 of them were for or 22 of them were for GB. So boxed at a good level.
Yeah, no, great, mate. So GB squad, you missed out on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I missed out. Same again, really. Just being young and got picked for the World Games. Messed around with my weight. Ended up didn't go to the World Games. And Pat McCormick, who I beat that year, because I beat him in the finals. They picked the obviously the runners up. I'd say is that the right word? Yeah, runners up.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I beat him, and obviously I was supposed to go messed around with making weight. So then they bring up Pat McCormick, then went out to win the World Games, and then that's when he found his place from that day in the GB squad, and he's doing very, very well at the minute out there.
Right, so 20, so up to 20 now then, you turn pro. It's quite young. How come you, at that point, you thought that was the right time for you?
Do you know what it is? I was thinking about Olympics, doing this, doing that, and 20 years old, it's hard because I weren't on the GB, so it was either try and earn some money by turning pro, because I couldn't go to work and carry on doing it. It's too hard. It's too much hard work. So yeah, I decided to turn pro at 20. I had a couple of unfortunate decisions in the amateurs towards the end in the seniors, so I just had enough of it, had the sick of it, and too political for me. And well, I thought that, and now I'm in the pro and in the paid ranks. I think it's 10 times worse, but I'm finding it out for myself.
How do you mean when you say political? What do you mean?
Because it's just hard. You know what I mean? Like for me, I want to fight everyone and anyone for everything, and you can't. Basically, you can't. Do you know what I mean? There's rules and how can I say, plans for certain people at certain times. So yeah, just one of them things. But my time will come. Do you know what I mean? My time will come, and just got to keep on the grind. I'm in a very good position now, in WBO world ranking. So
yeah, mate. And listen, 19 unbeaten. It's not a bad start, is it? Like, are you scared to lose your row? There's a question for you.
Scared to? Do you know what? I think no, not scared because I've never thought of it. Never thought of it. Only winning for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm only on that winning mindset. So losing, I know, is not really into me, but into my head. But yeah, not really come across that. And to be honest with you, there are fighters out there, and the best have lost. Do you know what I mean? And they've come back stronger. I think that's what makes you a great champion. If you do unfortunately pick up an O, and if you give up there and then you're not the champion. But if you can come back stronger and better than you are, so there's pros and cons. But for myself, now I'm still staying unbeaten, and I'll finish my career unbeaten.
I think what I like about you, I can't remember which fight it was that I was watching, but afterwards you were quite critical of yourself.
Yeah, my last fight against the Fury, I believe.
Yeah, but you, to have that mindset, you're young to be able to come out there straight on BT Sport and say, listen, I want good enough, and if I'd fought anyone better, I'd have lost tonight. I think that's pretty decent, mate.
Yeah, because the thing is, look, I can't kid people up. I've been telling the public how I'm ready for these big fights, and I'm on the base that performance, they're going to be like, no, you're not. But I know what I'm capable of. They haven't seen that. Well, they've seen glimpses, you know what I mean? Beating Woodstock, beating Declan Garrity like I did. Declan Garrity's a very good fighter who was beating, up on the scorecards against John O'Carroll until we got pennied in the later rounds. But so there's some good kids, and I know what my ability is. I know I've been mixing with these good kids since day dot. Do you know what I mean? So, but based on literally, there was a big talk about me, Frampton, Jamel Herring, and that, and Shakur Stevenson and things like that, and I boxed like that. But for me, it's a blessing in disguise. So I've gone and made a very big move, obviously, now with Al Smith at the R Box gym. And that's what I needed at this stage of my career. And I think without having that performance, I'd have probably just stayed where I was, and there wouldn't have been any change. So it's a blessing in disguise. I had a very bad performance, but I still got the win. Still 19-0 and unbeaten. So we move on.
And then talking about your mindset, so it's been picked up, hasn't it, that you've got this strong mindset. So tell us about Netflix UK. What have you been up to with them?
Yeah, so everyone knows I work with Linda Keane, who's my mind coach, and basically with Netflix UK, they contacted me about doing like a lesson, if you like, with 22 of the workers at Netflix UK. So I done my first little lesson, which was very interesting and good. It went on for a couple of hours, but it was really good, and I enjoyed it. And it's nice to see how people benefit out of what I can kind of give back. Do you know what I mean? With their mindset, being strong, championship mindset. So like I said to you just before this, I think everyone thinks when I'm on BT Sport Live with Frank Warren, MTK, everyone thinks everything's roses. Do you know what I mean? A bed of roses, but it's not. And that's the truth of it. And I just got to keep going, keep winning, keep being the best. And that's kind of how that went down with Netflix, really. And it was really good. Like I said, a couple of hours. People were really inspired by it. I got a lot of positive messages after. And I look forward to doing them again with them as well.
No, it's spot on. Right, so we'll move on. So you're ranked 7th in the UK now, and like you've mentioned a few before, some big names in that division. One that stood out for me, or a fight that I would love to see, is you and Zelfa Barrett. How's that?
Yeah.
How would that be? What would that go like?
Well, the thing is, Zelfa Barrett is a very good kid. There's an example of someone who's losing and come back better. He picked up an O, and I think he has come back better and stronger. Zelfa, like I said, I think he's a good kid. I've spoken to Zelfa. We've done a Zoom call with Coogan, and to tell you the truth, obviously I believe I beat Zelfa. I believe I beat everyone in this division. Hence the reason why I'm in here and doing what I'm doing. But I think when he's on his path, I'm on my path. He knows where I'm going with the WBO and wherever he's going at the minute. So regardless if that happens next week or next year or the year after, it's going to happen if we're both number one. Do you know what I mean? I'm aiming for that world title. And in the meantime, if he picks up a world title, then it makes sense having a fight later on with more at stake in the UK. But it's a potential fight. And I mean, we're both great prospects coming through. So it'd be very interesting.
Right, mate. So that's us. It was short and sweet tonight. But what we like to do first of all is finish, or last of all, in fact, finish with a few questions from the followers or viewers, mate. So, Pete, you might have answered some of this, but Pete wants to know who's next for you. We'll slightly change that. Say what's next for you.
Well, ideally, I was looking at fighting someone like Kiko Martinez, someone like that sort of level at the minute. So I'm trying to push Frank onto that. And we'll see what happens. Obviously, with this corona thing, things are a bit up in the air. So I'm just trying to keep active, whether I get out before Christmas, even on an 8 roundup, because it's only short notice now for a couple of shows. So there's only the 28th and the 5th of December that may be possible to get on. But yeah, that's what I want. I want a big name, especially for the new year if I don't get out. But like I say, Kiko Martinez, there's a few fighters that we've looked at who have been RBF world champions and whatever else. So, or very good European fighters. So
if you've got that call, then you're good on your weight now, yeah?
Yeah. So for now, like I say, if they call me tonight and say, Archie, you're fighting on the 20, I can do the super featherweight weight. That's not a problem. So yeah, I'm ticking over. I'm just waiting on a bit of confirmation at the minute, just to confirm if I'm on before or not.
Good stuff. Right. Do you like your movies?
Yeah, I do like my films.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. This might sit well then. Kaiser wants to know, if you could be any movie character, who would you be?
Oh, any movie character. That's a good one, isn't it? I
should have maybe preempted.
You know what? I'll tell you what I do like, actually, Scarface. I love that film, Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll do, isn't it?
Can imagine you. Right, and then the last one, mate, it's a question we always finish with, so you probably know it anyway, but there's a story behind it, but I won't bore everybody. What's your top 3 chocolate bars?
Top 3, Lindt.
Oh, sickly that, man.
Oh, I like Lindt chocolate. I do like a Galaxy. And the Milky Buttons. I do like Milky Way. I like white chocolate. Love it.
Happy day. We don't have a Milky Way yet, mate. Happy days. Right, that's us done, mate. Unless you got anything for the viewers or for your sponsors, bud?
Yeah, no, lovely. Thanks. Like I say, thanks for having me on tonight, and I appreciate that. And stay tuned, everyone, because the next Sharp Out is going to be unreal. It's going to be on fire. So I'm looking forward to showing everyone the new tricks that I've learned, and I'm looking forward to showing them. So yeah, definitely stay tuned, and I'll be out soon for a big performance.
Top man, Archie, and we'll catch up after, yeah?
Yeah, God bless. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Enjoy your fireworks, mate, with the kids, yeah?
Yeah, now I'm going to light myself up.
See you later, pal.
Go on, God bless. Take care.
Take care, mate.